everyone. Yes, can everyone take their seats, please? We're about to start. We're already 5 minutes late. I need you to. So thanks everyone for joining us here in this session. Really excited to have it. I think we started planning for this event not too long ago, actually, a few months. So I'm really happy to see it all coming together. I'm very enthusiastic to see these great. We have a full agenda today, but we have a bit of time for Q&A with the audience as well, so it should be interactive, and you have all the time you have to spare. Some opening remarks. I'm Simone Verkaert, by the way, Program Director of GRP. And then we'll hear from 3 pitches here. You see them here. They'll introduce themselves. Then some time for Q&A. Then over to the next set of pitches and some more Q&A. Jesper?
Thank you, Simone. Let me do a mic check. Is that working? Yeah? And if I go here, it's bad, right? Okay, I'm going to try this. Anyway, it's lovely to have you all here, and we're going to talk about challenge funds. Challenge funds, it's something that is really close to my heart. I've been working with challenge funds for, well, the last 15 years, when they started becoming something that you did in order to surface new innovation on the ground. Back then, no one really understood, what do you mean you're going to have a competitive process to surface new innovation? So we did. Now, since then, we've changed the way we do it. The basics are the same. We go out with a call for proposals, but we have refined the way we ask the question. What is it that we're looking for? Who is it that we want to work with? So it's become much more grassroots rooted. It is much more with what kind of capabilities and skills do the entrepreneurs need? It's much more needs-based. And it's also something, and again, here's something that's very close to my heart. It's a lot of really old. I'm like 51. I know I look so young. Please? No? Tough crowd this. You guys will have to work hard. In my career, I've been involved in development, climate adaptation my entire life. I've been a civil servant at CEDA. I've been at KPMG, working with consulting. I've been in other organizations doing the same thing. I've been an entrepreneur. The one thing that's always missing is the focus on people. And I find that quite weird, because we expect that we're just going to throw money and tech and you know, then we're going to meet them once to work anywhere else. So it's about also putting the people at the center. Now, there's no fixed formula or recipe for what is it that you need to do then. You need to like read the room a little bit. You need to see what are the needs. And then you also need to acknowledge that there is so much knowledge and capability in the room already. So you work with that, you empower, and you find ways to help everyone grow, and you create the learning environment where failure is accepted, and you learn from the failure, and then you move onwards. There are many more aspects to this, but I'm not going to continue. Simone is giving me a Dutch eye here. So I'm going to, who do I hand to now? You? I'm going to hand to, oh, great. So thank you very much. Lovely to see you all here. There you go.
Thank you, Jasper. And my name is Isabella Kojal. I work for the International Center for Integrated Mountain Development. We're based in Nepal, covering speaking to you about what is one of the most vulnerable and marginalized regions in the world, but which is also an extraordinary place, the Hindu Kush Himalaya. And we believe that this region holds phenomenal potential for nature-based enterprise and really an alternative way forwards in terms of development. So nature-based enterprise, but also innovation. And that's why we came together with GRP to begin to develop this Innovation Challenge Fund. And so what are we talking about? We're talking about a vast region. It's called the Third Pole. You can see on the right-hand side some of the facts about this region. It's huge. Its scale is vast. But what's very interesting is that it's to some of the most extraordinary biological and cultural diversity, and that this means that this region is a vast treasure trove of multiple natural goods and services. And yet it is being struck very hard by the triple planetary crisis. We are warming 2 times faster than other regions in the world. We've lost one of the most polluted regions in the world. And what is most critical is we've got enormous outmigration of young people who are the future of fund. Some of the very scary statistics: peak water by 2050, only 26 years away. Most of the ice will be gone at temp. And just remember, this region supports up to 2 billion people. That's a quarter of the world's population. And in terms of what this means, every year, this is phenomenal destruction every year. Massive infrastructure wiped out every year. We've had several more this year as well. And then we've got also the negative Everest, massive garbage problems, overcrowding, unplanned tourism development. And then, of course, we've got very significant ecosystem disruptions. We've got various plant species encroaching up to high altitude, affecting the ecosystems, but also destroying some of that extremely valuable biodiversity. So it's a huge regional and global asset, but it is undergoing an accelerating crisis. In terms of some of the facts and figures, huge financial needs, but, for example, Nepal only gets 0.1% of what it needs to complement public finance with private finance. So what is the opportunity? Lots of opportunities, unique opportunities, high-value products. The HK8s could be a source of sustainable mountain tourism. And of course, to develop all this, we really need to have new tech, new innovations as usual. And the good news is that our countries recognize this, and there is an increasingly supportive, enabling environment. Lots of policy changes, Nepal's Startup 2030, India's support to startups, and Bhutan's. And these are some of the kind of interesting examples. Soap nuts, dog chews from yak cheese, and this is phenomenally valuable kilo. This is a medicinal product from high altitude. And so the solution, we've come together with GRP to launch the Innovation Challenge Fund. We hope to do a proper call for proposals at COP29. We believe this is critically important to stimulate new ideas, new innovations, and to nurture the kind of innovation that this kind of extreme situation requires, and really focus on high-impact entrepreneurs and startups. Some of the key pillars of the fund is to support new ideas, to build the capacity of entrepreneurs, to provide access to funding, to ensure that we're measuring progress and learning from that, and supporting through mentoring and communications, so that we can winners this year, moving through to 100. And we are investing about 330,000. This is thanks to the UK FCDO, moving to about 2 million. Please do come and support us. Thank you.
Hi, thanks so much. I'm Dave Sivaprasad from BCG, and it's a privilege to launch this concept together with GRP and the Southeast Asia Climate Adaptation and Resilience Alliance that brings together WWF, Think City, and BCG. Now, we're really seeking for partners at this stage. This is a concept that we want to launch, and what I'm going to start with, and I invite Varad to then talk about the concept of call for solutions, is really why Southeast Asia and why we're focusing on the concepts of nature-based solutions for adaptation and the application of AI and technology. So Southeast Asia as a region is a massive economic powerhouse and is expected to grow into one, over the coming years, and is actually central to many of the global supply chains that serve the rest of the world. And it is also a hot spot for biodiversity, with 7 out of the 11 countries, being mega biodiverse countries. That said, will be negatively impacted, and a big part of the economy is subject to risk. And given the natural capital potential to unlock nature-based solutions to advance adaptation. So just some examples of, the heart of Borneo is the largest transboundary forest in the world. The livelihood is 120 million people. And the Mekong River Delta has over 20,000 species, plants, animals that are very unique. And the ability to unleash nature-based solutions that can help bring capacity for the region, we believe there's so much potential. And why AI and technology, this is then bringing is to unlock new solutions, improve decision-making, solution development and deployment. So that's the why, and I'll invite my colleague Varad on what.
Thank you, Dave. Varat Pandey here, my colleague of Dave, and our colleague Anis is here as well. So what do we want to do about this? Okay, so what we want to do is we want to bring together man's oldest friend, which is nature-based solutions, and our newest friend, which is AI and technology. We find and scale innovative ideas on adaptation and resilience, right? And so that's really the vision of this challenge. There is a good playbook here. BCG has been involved with several of these, including with our partners at the UN. We think we have a plan and a roadmap to do this well, all the way from surfacing ideas, sharpen and shortlist the most promising ideas for scale. We'll showcase them with the land. We are committed to investing, so that's what we plan to do. Asia Climate Adaptation and Resilience Alliance. This is something 3 organizations in the region started last year at COP20, intimately familiar. Think City, which is an urban resilience think tank in the region, and BCG, Boston Consulting Group, which, by the way, has, and we have come together, a particular initiative in partnership with GRPs. Lastly, I think just to share our name, the start of a journey, and we would love your partnership to shape it together. So please do reach out to us. And I will end by inspiration from a technologist who we all know called Einstein, who said, "Anything better." And I think that's the inspiration we are seeking to take this challenge forward. Thank you.
My name is Gerard David, and I work with GRP with the innovation work area. So we've heard a lot about Southeast Asia. Now let me take you on the savannas and mountain Kilimanjaro. Resilient Agriculture Innovation for Nature. This is one of the flagship program, which is 2023. Why agriculture and resilience? So a fraction of climate finance actually goes to the agriculture. And while we understand that agriculture is one of the biggest sector that addresses, that employ a lot of people in the global for the need of the world sector by the demand. By scaling these climate risks, the big challenge seeks to innovation solutions and provide a platform where the global south could be able to building resilience in the smallholder sector through the agriculture innovation. What is RAIN? So RAIN, which actually identify surface solutions that are nature positive, that address smallholder farmers in the East Africa. So this work, which span from the in East Africa on mentorship, providing them with sort of a leadership capacity trainings, financing to afternoon, whereby we see most innovative solution present flagship program within GRP came from. So RAIN was launched back at COP27 at Sharm el-Sheikh with the initial support from and the Shockwave Foundation, ideally in East Africa. So the first and Shockwave Foundation helped started the Rain Challenge, which was in 2022. We received over 100 applications from East Africa, and whereby aimed through the tailored support that I've mentioned, and also 9 were eventually became winner and received grant and are implementing the projects, and we'll have 2 of them actually this afternoon showcasing what they've been able to implement for the past 1 year. The second call for proposal actually was last year during the COP28 in Dubai, and whereby we received over 300 applications, and which that shows there's a demand for climate financing in the global south, not only to speak in East Africa. And we were able to shortlist 23 projects, which we are currently working with them, and we are going to announce the winners this November, which they will be receiving. Having mentioned that, RAIN is working in East Africa, as I've said, in selected countries, but it's looking to grow, to scale this initiative to other parts of Africa and eventually the globe. Due to the demand that we've demand from the project and businesses and the ground, it calls for more investment into the resilient and the ground. So what are we looking for? So as I've said, we had a 3-year commitment from our donors to create the ecosystem of these nature applications so far, looking to increase that to the next stage. So we're looking to raise at least $10 million, which will help and to in the global change window. You can also join an expert mentor pool. We have a very experienced and qualified mentors that approve the RAIN call for proposal. So the next call for proposal is going to be in Baku, the RAIN, and reach more. So thank you.
Please raise your hand if you have a question.
Hi, I'm Chris from Acumen. We're a global impact investor. Nature-based solution is amorphous. I recognize AI's potential is limitless, but its use cases occasionally I'm still asking questions about. So I like the two together, but can you give me a sense of what a use case or outcome has been from the work?
Great question, and fully agree with you. It's early stage, right? But where we're seeing some bright lights are in AI application of planning for nature-based solutions. So in terms of modeling the value this will bring to communities and then the local economy, that's where we're starting to see the application. The other application is on then plays a role indirectly in conservation and hence saving the ecosystems that then provide adaptive capacity. So that's another area that we're starting to see. But fully with you, it's early, and that's part of the spirit of the challenge is to get out there.
Just to say, I think we are taking the broad, AI has never been defined properly. So we are taking the broad definition of and actually planning and the work we do, including with governments in the region, we come across a lot of innovate. Some are at idea stage. How do we make use of this to do better planning? But there's a kernel of things where some sort of a challenge can that will actually move this topic.
Hello, my name is Adrian Sim. I'm with the Alliance for Water Stewardship. Thanks very much for your presentations, really good, all of them. So I've just come from the Water Resilience Coalition meeting, where there was a lot of talk about investments in access to safe drinking water, sanitation, and the good returns you get in that, in particular, the sort of risk to return ratio on such investments. And I guess my question is how much is the Global Resilience Partnership talking to organizations like the sort of align efforts and possibly even get more capital into these kind of initiatives? Thank you.
And then perhaps more specific on exactly what areas that we're investing. We are looking into how to provide more, actually to seek more investment to address the issue of the water. As the RAIN Challenge mentioned, it just cut across in that, but it more specifically on agriculture. and we could have more sort of information on that and where are we going in terms of investing in water.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Giovanni Coppini from Italy, from CMCC. I wanted to ask or call for a challenge to the Boston BC UN Decade. Is about it's called Cost Predict, and is about. We have already a partnership worldwide in Southeast Asia. The same join the partnership and search for maybe more funding, but world.
Find opportunities to scale if this is successful in its intent to screen and raise these solutions and help mature them. So 100% would love to partner. Our thinking was start somewhere where there's a boundary for application and begin that. I would just like to comment a little bit on the water question earlier, but there's huge need for water security across Southeast Asia. I mean, both too little and too much water, and priority for this challenge.
Thank you. May I have a round of applause for these pitches? And then we're going to switch over from the regional challenge funds to the thematic challenge funds. So if I have Simon, Namrata, and Jack up stage. Starting with you, Desmond. Desmond, you can start with your slides. You go here.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. So I'm from Green Africa Youth Organization. We are a youth-led gender balance organization that's based in Ghana with 3 country offices in Africa and operating with projects in 9 African countries. Our main focus is climate change, circular, a lot of communities, but we are also a youth-focused organization. I am here mainly to speak about ACIC, Africa Climate Innovation Challenge, which is projects mainly on water adaptation and gender issues around their innovations and creativity fade out, and also how many projects that were like a tipping point to scale that couldn't really see the light of the day because they didn't have the resources and the capacity to challenge to be able to build resilient businesses and communities within the African countries. As I said, our main focus is mainly to support the young people, individuals alike, and as far as the businesses have the potential to actually grow. We endeavor to have at least 40% of females in every year whenever we are doing this. I'm gonna start with our impact year in a role that of the young people across Africa. Last year we climaxed it at the Africa Climate to 10 organizations and capacity development, further actually connecting them with different institutions to support them. Now, some of the success stories from one is Asili Kwanza from Uganda, fuel producing charcoal briquette to support community view. Large proportions of Ugandans depend on biofuel. They get from wood or they actually just fell down trees to produce that. So this expand and build to dry the charcoal briquette. We also have low altitude, focus also on carbon capture using technology. As you can see here, and they've also been able to expand their portfolio and also now get space for a young lady from Madagascar who's also supporting communities to cultivate seaweed, to support food systems and what have you. I'm giving you these tips just to show you how much a little funding can always bring some of the ideas or the businesses to life. To talk about where we are, this is the 3rd year, some grants for the 3rd time, to support a lot of African youth to be able to employ more or support get more mentors to support, also to actually get direct funding to support some of these innovations and creatives that are already in the system. So you are welcome to support us. These are some of the innovations and the challenge that we are having. Thank you.
Hello everyone, good afternoon, Resilience Action Alliance, ORIC. Before I jump in, I just want to be a member of AURA, but also as one of to Yassiv, so just a big thanks. Multi-sectoral collaboration connecting the international finance and insurance sectors, governments from the global north and the global south, and civil society products which build the risk-based solutions. So our mission by 2030 is to drive at least 5 is ORIC. And it will drive the development of our investable product pipeline, so to meet our objectives of driving investment in. So it is locally led solutions and really acts as an incubator and a cap. Now, it was interesting when I was upstairs in the wrong room, 2 words came up a lot, which was capacity building plus funding. Sometimes not particularly helpful, and we need both together. And I think what we've heard today, a tiered brand of capacity building, technical assistance, and funds at the start. Financial innovation, because this is a word maybe similar to AI, which gets lobbed around. Define it quite broadly, specifically because we don't want to put any blinkers on the kinds of solutions which we can work with. But it has included in the past credits, different products, creating value from invasive species, seaweed farming, and as well as modeling flood risk. Applications, and worked with 13 solutions to, first of all, we provide capacity building support. This is very much anything from business plan development, communications, pitch decks, and really supplying the financial innovations, so connecting them with the right technical experts to develop their specific area. And then also seed vision to help them scale, hire people. Reported have leveraged around 10.6 million USD since they went through the early stage help is, but also the fact that these solutions are investable and there is a market for them. And we regularly promote these solutions here, so matchmaking. To learn, which works with small-scale fishers in southern Africa to provide many unable to connect with, like many informal sectors. Their approach has been to develop an app which helps fishers log their catches, and then also use the app to provide financial products, for example, insurance and cash advances. So we're now developing the next round of ORIC. So if you are a funder who's interested in supporting this work, if you are interested in learning more about the 13 solutions, we've already been incubating innovators who you think might be interested in applying, please do grab me after this session or visit our website for more information. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Namrata. It's a bit delayed. Hi, I'm Namrata from Global Resilience Partnership, and I will be talking about our resilience innovation through Scaling Entrepreneurship Challenge Fund. What we are focusing on is the Urban Resilience Innovation Challenge. Why particularly that? As you know, that only 9% of the investment that goes into urban areas flows to climate change, and even worse would be around resilience. And as we see that, urban areas are at the front line of multiple stresses, but new migration from rural areas as well, the development, not necessarily resilience at all. The unity, especially in the cities of Global South, which have become the hub of innovation, and we see a lot of informal sector being part of the entrepreneurship that successful houses the city. It is important to look into the early stage innovations or solutions for those regions as well. The other reason is that delegates are not actually able to do enough in terms of infrastructure development for the city. The rapid growth is a bit too much, hence it requires a lot of private sector input as well. So we commissioned an investment and policy scenarios and opportunities for urban resilience solutions, but also include profit-making companies. We are also launching the call for proposals at Baku, and the call will be aimed at early stage solutions, so idea-based is where we are at right now. Geographically, to someone who did ask about why Southeast Asia to the earlier panelist, we are going global for this one, be eligible, and want to focus on informal settlements. Regionally, in terms of thematically, what we are trying to focus on is three things, though we are not limited to these. These are some of the ideas that we are throwing out. One is climate risk. There is evidence that shows that, there are a lot of hazards like climate risk associated with extreme heat, flooding, waterlogging. Or formal areas, it's also the formal economy that is affected when the informal economy is those areas. Resilience retrofit, we are seeing a lot of investment going into retrofitting of existing buildings, and which is necessary as well. It's not just the new and most necessarily the old construction as well. And thirdly, migration and displacement. As I mentioned, there's not just a move or migration from country to country, which is affected because of climate change, but it's also rural areas moving into urban areas, or urban areas expanding to actually envelop rural areas as well. And so we'd like to focus on some of those challenges as well. Looking at this is quite similar to what Gerald presented, management, and covered the challenge. Are looking to start off with 7 to 10 cash prizes. Our aim is to actually grow this to 1 to 3 million challenge per year. And as you see that, just investing $1 can result in multitude of benefits. So you can join us as a funding agency, as an expert member of the pool, submit to our call for proposals. To note that this is not just a global south problem anymore, though we are focusing on that. We are also sitting in a country which has now made it illegal to be homeless as well. So it's global solutions.
Thank you, Namrata. And we have a few more minutes for questions from the audience and lunch. But please give us a few. Raise your hand if you have a question. I know. I want one at least, though. So, Renata, do you have a question? No? Too hungry? Okay. Are here today. Come find them if you have any questions that you are, once you've eaten. We're very excited to have launched these, or introduced you to these initiatives. They're going to have the previous speakers. And yeah, let's make some action together. Okay, now you can go and eat. Have a great day.